fly. I can teach you how to get cake. If not the whole thing, at least a little slice. Honestly, I'm an immaculate anomaly. I'm an organic organism, ain't no ordinary organs in them. I can't afford any synonymy. That's why my flow is like a cinnamon tsunami with the lemongrass. Ooh, let me know what you wanna do. If you wanna build, I'm Bobby. If not, then kick it in the lobby. I got a lot to do. Ooh, I'ma watch what you gonna do. If you gonna build, I'm Bobby. If not, then chuck a deuce. You throwing off the vibe, man, I don't die time. It's all about the vibe, all that I got time. I ain't got the goose, stack with me. Don't come through with bad energy. You ain't with the vibe, don't waste my time. Yeah, I can show you how to make a lot of cheese. I got the dialect of dairy in my diary. I'm from a lactose intolerance community. I want to circulate the units and the unity, the continuity of our...
It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Superdome here in New Orleans. Today we've got an NFC matchup on tap, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New Orleans Saints. Brandon Gaudin joined by Charles Davis here at the Superdome. But Charles, these Saints, after a good run from 2017 to 2020, have kind of been middle of the pack the last couple of years, 7-10 a season ago. What's their recipe for turning things around?
I think continuing the short passing game that they're known for, and see if some of their playmakers can make some short passes into...
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. So here come the Saints to take over for the first time. And here's the new man under center after 9 seasons as a Raider. Derek Carr is the guy.
It's going to take some time to adjust to seeing Carr running out in a new uniform instead of black and silver. It's black and gold. 35,000 yards and over 200 touchdowns with the Raiders. The Saints more than willing to let him air it out all game long to a talented group of pass catchers in the Big Easy.
Kamara with a first down run, but he's unable to get back to the line of scrimmage as the push-up field is strong defensively.
Sometimes I think cornerbacks can benefit from the fact that quarterbacks might just forget about the idea that they might be near the line of scrimmage. How about the anticipation there, sneaking in and making a big play in the backfield?
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Carr. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Here comes the Saints punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. So here come the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, led out by a man who was the runner-up to Patrick Mahomes at MVP balloting a season ago. Of course, that's Jalen Hurts.
And we already knew that Hurts was a good quarterback. But last year, he moved to elite status. Under his guidance, the Eagles returned to the Super Bowl and nearly won it. And he's also one of the league's most dangerous players, thrown for 38 touchdowns his last 2 seasons and run for another 23. Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise.
Touchdown, Eagles! Rashad Penny, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles are on the board first here this afternoon. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. Here's Carr to throw. And he's going to go down again. And the defense coming through on third down, a loss of 7 to bring up fourth. Here comes the Saints punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Taken right around the 44. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On first down, Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. He's going to get that to Swift underneath, and they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first. Pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on first down. Here's Hurts to throw. This is caught. It's Brown. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown, and the Eagles go up by 2 touchdowns. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. That time a 6-play drive, and it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. Now Carr. He finds his man Johnson. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. The slot man in motion right. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game was starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Again, it's Kamara. Nifty move. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Partner, how he managed to get positive yardage out of that run, I have no idea. But a little juking, a little moving, got it done.
Got him 2 yards. Throwing his car on 3rd down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Pulled in at the 24. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Jalen Hurts bringing the Eagles out for their next drive. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. 2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. This one complete down the field to Goddard. He may go. Look at the big man rumble. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dallas Goedert, 68 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball, or are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary, or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they'll continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Carr going to throw. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. So the completion good for just 3. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And taken right at the 35. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Elliott on for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Saints offense going to head out now late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Carr. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit, but first we will.
All right, so we
the
skip
highlights
the
from
rest
the
of
first
halftime
half,
and get
all
set for the
one-sided.
third quarter.
This one got out of hand early, and now you have to wonder how these teams will approach this second half, because this one's already close to being in the bag, if it's not already.
So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. There he goes, right side. He's past the 30. He will score. Touchdown, Eagles. Elliott now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game, the kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. So let's try this again. After the kick return, TD, here's yet another kickoff. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Carr going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
A pretty nice gain there on the run. Gets it to the 35 after showcasing the agile move.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. It's taken to the 26. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Eagles offense and A.J. Brown headed back out there. He's been his typical solid and reliable self, hasn't he, Charles?
When you have that go-to receiver that you can count on in the situation where you absolutely have to have him, there's nothing better for anybody who's throwing the football. But the best part is the payoff. 2 touchdowns already. That's the bottom line when you throw the ball to a guy.
Absolutely. Not over 100 yards right now, but he does have the 2 touchdown catches. They go play action with Hurts. Pass to Brown. He's got it on the crossing route. He's got room at the 30. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Hurts. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Play action. Here's Hurts. And, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee you he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
So tack on 3 more, though it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner, but at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great, too.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the third quarter, 2nd and 10. Here's Carr. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This is taken at the 15. A good return there, 17 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Wide receiver A.J. Brown, you see he and the rest of his mates returning to the field here. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Now Hurts on the option right. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
Frankly, I don't know that this defense knows what to do anymore. Just look at their body language out there. The passing game has absolutely been relentless throughout.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Throwing is Hurts. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. Great gains back-to-back. Last time over 30 yards, better than 20 here. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship.
And this has caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Olamide Zaccheaus. A touchdown on a kick return, and now one through the air. And the Eagles add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th. Elliott good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And Carr's throw complete there to Johnson. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Here comes the Saints punter now, standing just about on his own goal line. And he'll take it just outside the 40. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. We've paid this offense plenty of compliments already, but, I mean, they are deserving as they start another series. To be leading by this much with so much time left to play in the 4th, Charles, it's really, really been impressive to watch.
It has been, and you have to think to yourself, the preparation that went into this, but the absolute focus that they kept throughout in order to have this kind of a result. This is Super Bowl-esque, and they've got to feel awfully good about what they put out there today.
They run the option on 2nd down. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, a give to Penny. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They'll set up a throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Smith. And the Eagles are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Penny. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Good work there, holding him out on first down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
Another try for Penny, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Elliott good on the extra point, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
On play action, now Carr. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Well, after incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
Carr now to throw. And he wisely will throw that one away. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. And they take a knee. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.